Some sounds never leave you. You hear them once in a hallway, a tunnel, a forest, and they crawl back into your memory when the night gets quiet. They aren't words. They don't have names, but they echo, long after the source is gone. Tonight we explore 3 chilling cases where people across America heard something they could never explain. Something primal, something human, but wrong. These aren't ghost stories. These are real places, with real screams, caught on tape, witnessed by dozens, investigated but never solved. And if you stay until the final case, you'll hear what might be the most unsettling recording ever made in a family home. This is Roadside Tales, and these are 3 scream mysteries that still haunt America. The Tunnel 19. Screams, Missouri. Just outside the quiet town of Wayland, Missouri, there's a stretch of road that locals don't drive after dark. Not because of traffic or danger, but because of the sound. They call it Tunnel 19. An abandoned railway tunnel carved into a hillside in the late 1800s and long since forgotten by the state. The track is gone. The path is overgrown. But the tunnel is still there. A yawning black mouth cut into the stone, maybe 300 feet long, always colder than the air around it. Teens come here on dares. Urban explorers film it for YouTube. But many don't go far inside, because if you stand near the entrance at night, especially on a foggy evening, you might hear it. A scream, echoing from deep within. It doesn't sound like wind. It doesn't match any animal in the area. It's long, piercing, and distinctly human. Sometimes high-pitched, sometimes guttural, always distant, always untraceable. Local legend says a woman was trapped inside during a fire in the 1930s. Her screams were never heard until now. Others say it's just acoustics and echo chamber magnifying passing sounds from miles away. But those who've heard it say different. One man said it sounded like someone begging over and over, but the words were garbled, swallowed by the tunnel. Another woman reported that she heard her own name screamed back at her from the darkness. A paranormal group visited in 2017. They set up microphones, motion sensors, infrared cameras. For hours, nothing. Then, just after 2:11 a.m., a single sharp scream cut through the silence. The mic spiked. The motion sensor flickered. But the tunnel was empty. They posted the recording online. People debated whether it was staged, but if it was fake, it was a good one. Too good. No one has officially investigated. The town doesn't want the attention, but locals still whisper about the tunnel that screams back. If you go, bring a flashlight, and maybe don't go alone. The Ghost Screams of El Paso High School, Texas. Built in 1916, El Paso High School stands like a fortress on the hill overlooking the city that shares its name. Its beautiful columns, stone steps, arched windows. It's also one of the most haunted schools in America. Ask anyone who went there. They'll tell you about the hallways that smell like perfume when no one's there. Lockers that slam shut on their own. A stairwell that's always cold. And the girl in the old yearbook photo, the one who has no eyes. But what really sets El Paso High apart is the scream. Janitors have reported hearing it late at night while cleaning a long, drawn-out wail that rises and breaks like someone in pain. Not a shout, not a moan, a scream. It's been heard in the gym, in the basement, in the East Wing, where the old theater used to be. Some say it always happens around the same time, 3:17 a.m. Others say it only happens when the school is completely empty. In 2002, a security guard tried to record it. He'd heard it before and came prepared. He waited. Lights off. Phone ready. And he got it. The recording is grainy. There's static. but you can hear it a single cry followed by 3 words too garbled to be clear. Some say it's, "Why won't you others say, 'They found me'?" The school denies any official activity. They say it's urban legend, but former students tell another story. There was a girl, they say, in the 1920s. She was in love with a teacher, got pregnant. He rejected her. She threw herself from the 4th-floor balcony and died in her uniform. It's just a story, right? Maybe. But the yearbook still shows her picture faded, but there. The girl with no eyes. And every few years, someone new hears the scream. The Black Forest screams. Colorado. In 1991, Steve Lee and his family moved into a beautiful log cabin in the Black Forest region of Colorado. Nestled among tall trees and winding roads, it looked like something from a magazine. Quiet, peaceful, until the noises started. At first it was footsteps in the attic, then whispers, then doors opening on their own. Steve thought it was an animal, then a prank. But when the whispers became voices, and the voices started saying names, they knew something was wrong. They installed motion detectors, cameras, audio recorders, and what they captured is some of the most disturbing paranormal evidence ever recorded in a private home. Over the next 4 years, they documented over 300 voices, screams, growls, conversations between people who weren't there. In one recording, a voice yells, "Leave him alone," followed by a child's scream. In another, a woman whispers, "They're watching you sleep." Investigators came. Psychics visited. One medium refused to enter the master bedroom. Another passed out in the hallway. The family submitted evidence to the show, Sightings, which ran a full segment. Their footage included a translucent figure walking through a doorway and, most chillingly, a 17-second scream that sounded both human and not. It wasn't just audio. Their children began having nightmares. One child woke up with scratches on his legs, lights turned on and off, batteries drained instantly. The family tried to leave, but every time they made arrangements, something interfered. Cars broke down. Paperwork vanished. Steve eventually quit his job to deal with the house full-time. They called in the National Institute for Discovery Science, a real investigative group which confirmed unexplained electromagnetic and audio anomalies, but no resolution. To this day, the house still stands. It's privately owned, rarely sold, and considered one of the most active paranormal locations in the U.S. The Scream. It still exists. You can find it online. People debate whether it's a hoax, but even skeptics admit it doesn't sound like anything human. 3 screams, 3 places, no explanations. You can write off a ghost story. But a scream, that's a primal thing. It doesn't just spook you, it stays with you, especially when it's recorded. Thank you for watching Roadside Tales. And if you're still here, you now know not every haunting comes with a face. Some only come with a sound. Subscribe for more stories that hide in the corners of America's roads, schools, and homes. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.